Alright, so I think we're set up for tonight. Let's see if everything is in place for another ByteDelight weekly show. Yeah, I think it is. Let's see if the music works. Click, click, click. Yeah, we have some music because we like music. Let's see if other people can see the show as well, and then we can post the link onto Facebook so people know. Right, so video's on. Yes, alright, that's alright. Just a couple of seconds, please. Right, and this week's show is number 16, so let's just add that to the info on Facebook. That's one. And let's put it here. Hey, good evening Jan, Stuart, good evening. Why is the counter not showing how many people are online? Okay, now it is. Took a couple of seconds for some reason. Right, just a sec guys, sorry. You know, I'm doing this alone, so hence I need to upload the video URL to Facebook myself. It takes a couple of seconds, but fortunately we got some music in the background, so starting off well, I think. Alright, so link is posted. I think everything is ready for tonight's show. Let's see, no more messages, please. Come on. Now I get all the likes of the video. Anyway, I shouldn't bother looking at Facebook at this moment because I will be distracted for sure. Moises, good evening. Mitya, good evening. I hope I'm pronouncing your names correctly. If not, please tell me so I can do it better in the future. I've learned the names of a couple of people from all over the world and tried to pronounce their names correctly. But you know, I'm Dutch and I'm trying to speak correct English, which is sometimes hard. Fortunately, I've got you people to correct me if I'm wrong, so that's great. Alright, I hope music is not too loud. If so, let me know. We'll put my volume down here so it's not too loud for me. Well, I think everything is okay now to start off the show for tonight. Let's see if I didn't forget anything. No, I don't think so. I think it's okay. So good evening, goedenavond, hello, hola, goedenavond for the Dutch people if there are any already. Or maybe if you're watching this show at another time, for example on a Saturday morning with some coffee or breakfast or something. And you're allowed to stay in bed because your girlfriend allows you to, or your kids allow you, which I can't believe because my kids will never allow me to stay in bed. Then it's good morning for you. But anyway, you're welcome to the show of 21 September 2018. Last week I wrote 2019 on some packages, so people may be surprised of that, but it's not a big problem of course. Let's see. If you have any topics for me to discuss tonight, please let me know because I have a couple, and like always, I'm always not completely sure if that's enough for a show. But if you have any topics to discuss, then please let me know. The sun is shining again, which is very odd here because a couple of minutes ago it was very windy and there are big, thick grey clouds outside. So most probably it will storm in a bit. but I'm inside, just below the attic roof, so I can hear everything here. So if it's raining loudly, then you can hear it as well. All right, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers on this channel, which I really looking forward to. We only need, I think, 12 more. And of course, like I told many times already, I will do another giveaway, and this time of a ZX HD with Raspberry Pi altogether. Peter, good evening. Martin, Jean-Claude, Frank, and Philip. I think I didn't welcome you already, so this was the time. Last week I discovered that you not only need 1,000 subscribers to do anything with YouTube to make it profitable, but you also need people to make 4,000 viewing hours, and I'm not there yet. I think I'm about at 3,000 hours, so I will continue to upload more videos. Sometimes they're ridiculous, like yesterday when I'm laying on the floor and doing a video about my cable wire management underneath the tables here. But I think it was a cool video, just a funny video, you know. I didn't look. I looked ridiculous in the video, but well, why not? Because all the vloggers these days, they don't bother about how they look or how they act or something like that. They just want to have their lives on YouTube, and it's ridiculous how many kids watch those videos of people who just put their lives on YouTube. But I understand that that's a way of making a living, even though the guys who probably mostly do vlogging of their lives are still kids, mostly I think. Many of them are not even 20 years old, so anyway, some people, like a couple of Dutch vloggers here, end up doing commercials and that sort of stuff, or do some kind of competition on television or something, or any other show, because they're well known on the young people here in Holland. Swapping. What are you saying? Because I'm not viewing it complete. Chat, I am now. They're interesting. More repairs. Okay. Are you both talking about repairs, or? Oh, of course. You mean I should do more repair videos to get more viewing hours? Yeah, of course. And what do you mean with a lot of swapping, Peter? Swapping of parts or something? I don't know. I think it's cool to do these live repair videos, because we're living in 2018, and I'm very open about everything I do. Why not? Because if someone wants to do the same, they most probably will anyway. So why not show them what I do? You know, it's not a secret. It's just that it's a small market. There's not. I'm not talking about millions of sales in a year, but I want to make a living of it. So it's important to me to make a living of it. But why not share everything I do? I'm thinking of, for example, maybe you guys know the channel of iFixit. It's a well-known channel on YouTube. I think I've never seen them myself, but many people are talking about them because iFixit shows all kinds of repairs on smartphones and tablets, and they even sell repair kits with a lot of tools in them of great quality. And they're not making a secret of repair ways of repairing stuff. So I think it's good that they're open about it, how they do it, and they still make a lot of money. So why not? Anyway, I think doing repairs with live video is great because it encourages me to speed up the repairs, and not to spend too much time on them or playing games in the meantime or something like that. And people can see how much time it actually costs to repair some things. Of course, sometimes, like last week with the micro Ace from Mark, who picked it up the day after I did the large video of 3 hours. Sometimes you work on machines and you're not in the right way of solving a simple problem like loose capacitor. Well, that sometimes happens. I had a lot of fun just working on that machine and swapping some IC sockets which were very bad. We have seen that the machine came to life when I pushed some parts and changed some sockets. So anyway, Mark got a great micro ace, very rare machine, which is in great shape now, including composite video output. So I think it was a good video anyway. Maybe a bit boring because it was 3 hours, and the day after I fixed it in 10 minutes or something. Anyway. And of course, sometimes I also need help. For example, Mark Smith gave me the hint of getting into the right direction. But anyway, I learn a lot from doing that work, and there are still people who know a lot more than I do. So that's no secret. I'm just learning, you know, and it's not my core business, repairs. I just want to do that because sometimes people want to buy stuff, but they can't because their machine is not working correctly, and then I just offer them the repair service, you know. So it's not something I offer on my website. I think no, I don't think I'm offering it, but I take repairs. It's no problem. But it's time consuming, and it can easily take up half an hour to an hour to repair one board, and sometimes even longer. Spectronet, oh yeah, that's one of the things. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes. I think I'm still waiting for one part. Some parts are taking long at the moment. Let me add it here to the list. We'll talk about it in a minute, because I have some other things I want to process first. But anyway, 12 more subscribers needed for the magical number of 1,000 subscribers. Really looking forward to it, and I will make more videos, and I hope people will watch them. And of course, it will not stay with Sinclair only. That's what I'm doing at the moment, but in the future I will do lots of other stuff as well. Alright, no tonight's snack because I had pizza as always on Fridays, and I'm really filled up. I can't have anything else, so let's keep it that way at the moment. So I only have simple water here at the moment, which is healthy. My daughter broke her arm last Monday. She's doing well, it's not a problem. She didn't break it completely. It only was a little tear in the bone. She can handle it because I know who she is, how she is, and as I wrote on Facebook, I was actually expecting something going to happen with her, because sometimes when we take a walk outside, because my family needs it sometimes, my daughter just climbs up the highest, someone called it donkey bars yesterday, so that I think it's the correct term for that, donkey bars. She climbs up the highest, and that's and you have a couple of things we call spiders, which are a high top and then go down, and I think they're over 6 meters high or something. And she just climbs in as if it's nothing. I don't know if you guys are watching Netflix and the Beastmaster series at the moment. The first season is on, and that's what my daughter does. So that's how she is, and I think it's will not be the last time she breaks something. So, but the problem is, of course, that she have to have her arm in what is called in English. We call it gips in Dutch, but I actually don't know what that's in English. I have to check it. What's that in English, man? Gips, plaster? No. can be English. Gypsum, sorry, something like that. I don't know. If you guys know, plaster. Okay, it's plaster. Okay. So she has to carry that for a couple of weeks, which is mostly hard for us because she can't go to school by bike. But we will do that. It's only a couple of minutes drive, so it's not the biggest issue. But it's a bit more work. But anyway, after the plaster goes off, then she can get on a bike again. Another video I posted last week was a small video about my storage space, and some people were thinking I was referring to my network attached storage or something, so hard drive storage, but I actually wasn't. I was talking about my storage space at the Sureguard here. There are a couple of Sureguard storages facilities in Eindhoven, I think 4. So Sureguard is really doing well. It's an American company and it's really doing well in cities like Eindhoven. And I have to move to the third space there in a couple of months. No, Frank. Yeah. Well, my daughter doesn't really do anything in the household except maybe sometimes clean the table when we had breakfast or something. She's 8 years old and she's mostly playing and playing games and playing in a room and we have a dishwasher. So I really hate doing dishes and I really hate doing dishes. I said it again because the first thing I bought when we got married was a dishwasher. And my wife didn't mind at all, of course. Why would she? Some people say that it's good for your marriage to do dishes together, but believe me, for our marriage it wasn't a good thing because I really hate doing dishes. And you have solutions for that nowadays, so why not? They're actually not expensive, and there are people say I'm not sure that they even save water and energy, so why not? And it saves me time, and the dishes get more clean. And anyway, so no, we have a dishwasher, but it's a machine. It's no human. I sometimes do pans and by hand, but not more than that. And I've been in the kitchen, by the way, a couple of more often than I used to. Because we have a fig plant in the backyard, as I may have posted a couple of times during the last years, and it's the season where you can get all the fruits off. So at the moment we're all at 29 pots of jam, and the plant is still half full. So I think we will reach about 60 pots of jam this year, which is 10 more than last year. I think there are some guys that do the dishes. Just to give their girlfriends the feeling that that they love them, and but when I do the dishes, I'm just so frustrated, and I can't get anything good out of my mouth. So anyway, don't give me don't have me do the dishes. I just hate it work, man. I don't mind working in the house, but I hate doing dishes. So I was talking about the storage space, so I'll move to the third one. It's a lot larger than the previous one, and I still have some room left. Which means, for example, I now can order things like bubble foil in larger quantities and just store it there, because it's way cheaper ordering 3 or 5 or more rolls instead of one. So I'm really happy that I have the space now, and I can expect it's not the last one. We'll see. You can also have a dishwasher, Frank. If I was alone, I would still have a dishwasher, for sure. Anyway, today I put some new stuff in my webshop. I think it's good to show you guys. Let's see. You made me. I want to show you guys something else I saw last week. Let me look it up, because we're talking about the girl guy thingy in the household, and I should show you this one. Just a second. It must be here on this page here. Where is it? Must be here somewhere. Oh man, lots of new posts. Is it a new page? No. Oh, it's not the correct page. Here it is. Yeah, I have it here. Okay, I want to show you this one. That's so funny. Alright. Don't blame me. Oh, it's a blurred one. I need this one. So some people still make jokes about this, you know. I actually do better jobs at making dinner than my wife does, but she has more time for that, so mostly she does it. I like to cook. That's not a big problem, but so I'm not hoping there are any women on the show. No, just joking. It's a fun picture. I like fun pictures. Anyway, people should decide for themselves how you share the work in the household, you know. So we do as well. We do something different things, and some women are Some women are actually very good in painting, for example, painting walls and doing other stuff. But those things are really my work and not my wife's work. And there are some other things that women are good in, but actually, oh, that's strange. I've seen it before. I don't know why the audio is not synchronized anymore. Strange, very strange. Anyway, let's see. What's the next topic? Oh yeah, the new webshop, the added products. I want to share that with you if you don't mind, because I added a couple of things and there are going to be more. Let's put up this one again, and let's zoom in a bit. Right, so first thing are finally the posters, which are available, and I don't think they're too expensive because they're not that cheap to make. But at this moment, I have. Let's show you this box here, and I have 50 of them, so I can go on for a couple of weeks now. I think, and I hope people like these posters because I think they're cool. The only thing I was doubting a bit about is if I'm allowed to sell them anyway, because of course there's some Sinclair branding on them. Probably shouldn't talk about it too much. Let me put this away. Right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, well, we'll talk about the Harlequin board as well in a second. I think it's on the program for tonight. Yeah, it's on the program. It's one of the new products which. I will tell you in a minute. Just want to show you at the moment what I did add to the webshop. Let me get the webshop again. Yes, there it is. So the poster is there. I added the new Genius mice. I think this mouse looks very well with Sinclair Spectrum, especially with the toast rack, of course. Like this one, which is a toast rack, and it's not. And what the hell is this, man? Well, it's a development case, I think. But there's a Harlequin issue 2D, so it's a toast rack Harlequin at the moment inside, but no heatsink. But still, the Genius mice, the red one, will look very well with this machine, and with the Kempson mouse turbo interface, which is also available in the webshop. And the cool thing about Genius is, of course, it's a retro brand because it was already present. The products of Genius were present in the 80s, I think, even maybe before that. I don't know. I don't know when Genius started, but I know there were plenty of mice from Genius back then, and trackballs, and what more did you have? I think Genius also made the first hand scanners. I'm not sure anymore, but I've seen them a lot in computer fairs and that sort of thing. So it's cool that the product is back with something that's usable in your Sinclair Spectrum. And this mice specifically, has a USB connector but supports the PS2 protocol, which is required for the K-Mouse Turbo interface. It's not that useful that it only supports PS2. mice, so the K-Mouse Turbo. But at the moment, the mice are available, and I think in the future there will be the successor of the K-Mouse Turbo with native USB support, hit support. So we will see about that. So that's added. What more is added? Well, I also am offering now a completely refurbished ZX Spectrum Plus machines. I also already was offering the rubber case machines, completely refurbished, and also now the Plus machines. And I will try to keep them in stock all the time, but sometimes it's hard because of all demand. I still have plenty of ZX Spectrum Rainbow LED cases if anyone is interested. I think there are photos here. Yeah, there are some photos here. But there are some news about new developments which will also be very, very sweet to use on your ZX Spectrum, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But it's for the new products on the Webshop, and I will talk about some new product developments in a second. Let's first get my program back so I know where I am. Yes. Alright, so I was talking about new products with LEDs and all kinds of colors. I can't see the chat at this moment. Let's see where the chat is. Oh, there it is. Right. I'm thirsty, but that's because it's a bit hot in the attic. It's always hot here because warm air goes up. And I got some new energy bills, and man, I was a bit surprised at how high they were compared to last year. So I think I should be careful with switching on the airco. But I need it when I want to work here. So yeah, well, so Darren, who may or may not be on the show tonight, I'm not sure. Let me check. I haven't seen him. Oh, he is. Look at that. Zelior, you are live. He allowed me to share some things with you, and I'm going to do that right now. But I have to get I have to have his post of last week here, so that's easy. So he posted a picture, and I'm going to show you some more in a second. This is the picture he showed you, and of course you want to see it as well. So he showed you this, and I don't know if anyone knows what he is showing you here. It says something like ZX LED Bow. ZX LED Bow. It's a very cool logo. I wonder how much time you spend on that. He can tell you that, because he's on the chat. And I have to look this way because the picture is a bit rotated. And you can the screen shows some keys you can press on your ZX Spectrum. And what it does is it will lit up all kinds of RGB, how do you call it, different RGB styles on this keyboard here. So this is not a ZX Spectrum keyboard. Well, it is, but it's to show you what the interface that Darren is developing is capable of. And I have a very cool video. Just have to look that up. So I'm going to get back here for a second. Let me get the chat. Oh, I think I've downloaded the file. That's more easy, I think, because I was able to download the MP4 of the file, which is here. Yes. So let me get that. Oh, get to the right, man. Sorry. All right. Let's pause this and rewind. Rewind. Yes. And then. Okay. So this video is from him as well. I'm not looking at this text. No, I'm not. So this is one of the Rainbow Spectrums I sold Darren, and he's actually using this with the interface he's developing to control this, what you're seeing here, and that's the cool thing about it. So let me just show you what he's doing here and say, isn't that great? Wouldn't it be nice to have that in your ZX Spectrum? What do you think? I think it's very, very cool. And Darren and I have some great plans of making this an actual product. So expect to see this in the future somewhere. Really individually programmable LEDs on your ZX Spectrum keyboard, and this will be awesome, I think. So Darren, you have my best wishes to work on that project, and I really hope it will be a big success, because I think it's one of the most awesome projects at this moment, if you ask me. Let's see if I missed anything on the chat. In the future, I said, yeah, in the future, somewhere in the future. I should be careful, because I'm really so enthusiastic when I see these new projects, development projects, and I always have not enough patience to wait on that. But my own problem is lack of time, so so it's my own fault, and Darren just should take the time needed. Some people are crazy, like Imre Jakli, for example, from Hungary, my best friend from there. He did the development of the ZX HD firmware on the Raspberry Pi in a couple of weeks, and he worked some nights to get the firmware ready. And even 2 days before we launched it, let me think, when did we launch it? I don't know, somewhere beginning of last year, I think. He did some awesome upgrades of the firmware, for example, to support the 2 video memory areas of the ZX Spectrum 128K models, and he used some very clever ways of having the HDMI buffer filled with the data. And then the so-called interlaced mode in the ZX HD, for example, is now being exploited by George Vidasoft, by Jiri, because he uses that nowadays to show a double vertical resolution, and that makes some really awesome effects if you want to see cool high-res ZX Spectrum graphics with more colors than you can ever imagine. So lots of new things are coming, and I hope Imre is doing well, because Imre himself is in the middle of a move at the moment with his family of 5 kids. He still has a normal job, but he sold his house. He's selling his house at the moment, and he bought another house. So it will take some time for Imre to work again on the ZX HD, but it will come in the future. We're waiting for so many things, like long file name support on ESX DOS, for example, and the developers are just people like you and me, who need their time for getting the food for their families, of course, and shelter, and and also spend a lot of time on developing cool things for us retro fanatics, if I may say so. I'm still actually. I was thinking of how I should start a show, because many people like Clint Bessinger or Linus Sebastian, for example. They always start a show in a specific way, so maybe I should do the two. And I had an intro. I think I can look it up, because it's not difficult to find. I had an intro once, and it's when I was playing the laser harp, which I will do again very soon, because someone wants to visit me here and take a look at that. So I want to show you this intro, because maybe that's a good intro for the shows. I think it has buffered enough, I think. Why it's not playing? Okay. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. But first, let's stop the music, and you can hear what I'm actually saying here. So you decide, guys, if you like what I'm saying here or not.
Hello, Spooky fans.
So that could be the intro of future videos, if you like. If you have better ideas than that, then just let me know, because I really want to give these videos a specific signature to start with, you know. If you haven't seen the laser harp, please take a look, because it's based on a ZX Spectrum. And it's awesome to play the laser harp, I can tell you that. I developed this specific model myself, of course, but the idea is from Jean-Michel Jarre, a very well-known synthesizer, electronic music composer and player. He still plays a lot on live shows and makes new music, and some new albums are coming out this month and November, so can't wait for that. But this is something I made myself, and at the end of this video you can also see that it's running on an actual ZX Spectrum here. Come on, what's it doing? Oh, there it is. So there is the machine. I think the lights will come on now in a sec. Oh, and that's what's causing the sensors of the laser harp to overload, so I have to push the button there to stop the MIDI output. But I'm going to do another live performance of the laser harp very soon, because some English guy from who lives in Venlo nearby here will come to visit me, and all the gear is at my back here, and to play it once again, and after that I will store it in my storage space, because it's taking a lot of space. But I will do it again. Anyway, someone asks, do you have intention to work on new components for other platforms? Yes! Yes, I am. But the problem is I need time. I need to finish some projects first for the ZX Spectrum. And then I need to work on other things. And I actually have some almost finished products laying around. For example, for the Atari XL series, I have the Ultimate Card, I think it's the name. It's an SD card interface. I have one working that I bought from the developer himself, and I was allowed to make some myself, but I just didn't have time for it. And back then I didn't even have the proper equipment to make it, because one of the chips needs to be soldered at its bottom of the chip to the board. It's a ridiculous chip, and there's no way of doing that with just a soldering iron. You can drill through the board. That was a solution that some people used, and then you can solder through the board to the bottom of the chip, you know, something like that. But of course now I have the oven, the reflow oven, which I still need to finish, because it's a standard reflow oven, but it's it has to be upgraded with some specific controller parts to make it an automatic oven, which switches on and off at the correct temperatures and that sort of thing. Yes, I'm going to work on the combined interface in the future, but before I will do that, I think I will first work on the new DivMC Mini, which is based on the Pro 1 interface, which has some benefits, and 2 joystick ports. It's still going to be the budget DivMC interface, but I think we have 3 choices in the future. So we have the Pro 1, we have the DivMC Mini, which is the budget version, but with some features of the Pro 1, and then we have the Mini with the joystick port, something like that. Well, yes, I did a couple of them, Chris. I did a couple of white interfaces, and if you want, that's still possible, because the cases actually come in white when I order them. They're laser sintered cases, professionally laser sintered cases, and they're made of very tiny nylon powder, you can say, balls, which are lasered together, sintered together. But they come in white, and I actually have to impregnate them with black textile ink powder, and do that with cooking them. Yes, actually cooking. I'm cooking cases. And then I use a couple of layers of spray paint to finish the work on the cases. Of course, they have to be dry, which goes very quickly. And well, I haven't heard anyone who says that the cases are of bad quality or something like that, because they are really of good quality. I hope the stream is still working, but because I have some hiccups here, don't know if it's still alright. I think so. Let's see. Yes, I can even make gold ones if you want to. No problem at all. The quality of them early on. I was thinking about the cases. Right. Thank you, Darren. So if you want any specific color, I actually offered the white ones in the webshop early on, but because there was not much demand for them, I think I never sold one through the webshop, a white one. Yeah, strange. What is going on here? I think it's my router downstairs, because I had this earlier today. Very strange. I don't have any errors at my OBS stream here, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I think it's my router or my ISP who is messing it up. No, it's not my CPU. Definitely not. Definitely not. Let me check again, but it's not doing that much. No, it's really something else. Let's get the music back, by the way. I also have installed what's going on? I have installed a tool that monitors my internet connection, and sometimes it gives an error, an audible error, so I know when my internet connection is hicking, like it's doing now, I think. Very strange. Still, OBS is not giving any error, so it's sending data. That's not a problem. Strange. Maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. I hope it's working, and it will continue to work. But I was seeing the hiccups myself on my dashboard here. Very strange. Anyway, where was I? Let's get back to the program. So we were talking about Darren's new ZX LED bow, and really looking forward to that. Oh, I made one video last week with some experimenting about the electronic parts Darren is using on his ZX LED bow, because I wanted to know if these parts, which are individually controllable LEDs that have a microcontroller inside of the LED case, the very small LED case has a controller inside. Can you imagine? And I was wondering if you could just program the LEDs from a ZX Spectrum without any additional CPU or microcontroller or something like that. But it's really not possible. The ZX Spectrum cannot send the data as fast as the microcontroller needs, because the slowest time of a signal that is needed is 0.35 microseconds, and that's not achievable on a ZX Spectrum. And it's a pity. I was talking about it with Darren. It's really a pity that they made those chips needing that high frequency signal, because it doesn't allow you to just send data and with a strobing signal like an old parallel interfaces. You just put data on the data bus and then send a signal to the printer port. Here you have new data, do something with it, and then set the next set of data bits on the bus. It doesn't work like that. It's really a very, very precisely timed stream sequence of bits you have to send, and a lot of them, by the way, because if you have for example 30 LEDs, for example, and you want to send data to them, you have to send 24 bits, and then 30 of those sets of 24 bits. So it's a lot of data you have to send, and you have to send bit by bit. So it's something that you have to do from something like a microcontroller, and Darren is working on that. So I'm really looking forward, again, as I said a couple of times now, because I really like ZX Spectrums to be colorful. Who doesn't? And no, there won't be any for ZX81, except if you have the ZX Pound, because I think what was the name of the ZX81 interface with the colors from Peter Palfero? It's not the Spectra, is it? The ZX81 version. I forgot the name. Anyway, so there's an interface that adds color to the ZX81. Okay. So, how am I doing with ByteDelight? You may ask me, because a lot of things have been done during the last weeks. So in April I had a dormers installed where I'm sitting now, which is great because it's really a good workplace here now. I also quitted my job back then. I think it was the same month, and I'm not sure exactly because I don't know what I decided earlier. Anyway, I did both. And good for the Chroma, of course. Yes, thank you. Fortunately, I had some transition time, so the transition time ends this month. So it's the last month that I can benefit from my old contract with my employer, and then I have to be on my own. And I'm still not completely there, but I think it will settle down in a way that's needed for me and my family. After the drummers were installed, I really needed a lot of time, and that surprised me myself to decorate the place here and make it really efficient workplace. The last thing I did on the place here was installing the cable wire management underneath the tables, like you may have seen on YouTube. But a couple of things that I need to do now is on the back of the display here are 3 of those color laser printers, and I will move 2 to the back of the place here, because there's some space in that corner which I can use very well for selling some printers there, only for printing address labels for packages and that sort of thing. And then we have some space for the pick and place machine, which will arrive in a couple of weeks. When that's done, I think all the work on the workplace here in the production line is complete. And I won't wait with new products until I have the machine in use, because that will take too much time. But what I want to do is I want to finish some machines that I still need to repair. The last one, so there's only 1 bag here, so there's not much. Already did some other ones last week. I think 10 or so, something like that. Then I will order the pick and place machine, and when I ordered the pick and place machine, and I'm waiting for that to arrive and to start using it, which also will take a couple of weeks. Because it's very new to me how such a machine works, and I can imagine that my designs, board designs, need some modifications to make it the easiest way of using the machine. But anyway, I won't wait with that. In the meantime, after I ordered the pick and place machine in a couple of days now, I will offer the Harlequin kits, the Spectrum interface. I hope all parts will be in a couple of days now. I will offer the +2 and +3 power supplies, the new ones, and we'll work on the new things like the vertical Pro 1 interface and all other ideas and stuff that's waiting. And of course with hardware for other machines than only the ZX Spectrum. So I think this year is mainly getting ByteDelight ready to be up and running at 100%. And I don't know what will happen after that. I hope it will be enough for making a good living of it and not having any short of money. That's one, but I also hope that it will grow, maybe even grow outside this workplace where I'm sitting now. I don't want to start hiring employees or something, not yet, but maybe in the future, you never know. Maybe there's enough work for a company with a couple of employees, I don't know, we'll see in the future. I never say never, but I just want to be realistic and don't make decisions that will just work against me. Let's see. Yeah, the Spectre will come, but again, I can look it up for you if you guys want to. I'm curious what parts I still need. If you have a second, then we'll look it up. Yeah, I still need the ROM chips, ARM chips. I don't know why they're taking so long, because I ordered them over a month ago, but that's not too long for China, of course. I'm even waiting for something that I ordered on the 10th of August. So it will come. I'm not doubting about it. Actually, China is very reliable if you order something to arrive. I don't think I ever had something that didn't arrive. Maybe once, and then they send it again, and it's no problem at all. The people from China are very reliable when it comes to sending stuff. They're not too reliable if you look at quality of things, but that's another topic. Sometimes they kind of do the people who sell the stuff. It's not always their fault that the parts were not working, because they get the parts from other sellers, and it's no problem at all, because sometimes, most of the time, they do a refund, and if not, then sometimes I have to send stuff back, and I don't like to send stuff back to China because that's very expensive. But sometimes I do. What did I buy from China for a couple of weeks? So the IPROM chips, which are discontinued, I need them from an old stock reseller. Some more RAM chips, which I always test. One batch that didn't work, and these are I'm talking about RAM chips on the +3, for example. So I needed to order them from somewhere else, and those worked very well. So strange that the other batch didn't work at all. I order, for example, Western Digital floppy controller, disk controllers, which are very rare and discontinued, and I need them from somewhere. I order sometimes markers, permanent markers, and that sort of thing. I even ordered SD cards, because SD cards are getting more and more more and more expensive. I remember I could order them for about €2 each a year ago, and now I have to pay almost double of that for 4 GB cards. And maybe it's because of some shortage, but sometimes I think it's on purpose. Anyway, so I'm trying to get find new addresses to get good quality cards, because many of the memory cards you buy in China are fake. You may have heard it before, and I've ordered many of them that don't work at all at the specified capacity. And of course, I will make sure I always get my money back when something like that happens. But for example, I ordered a couple of 1 GB cards for the ZX HD. And some of them worked just fine. For example, I had a batch of 10, and those all worked fine in the ZX HD. And I also tested them for a capacity, and they were fine. But another address didn't work at all. So sometimes it's hard to find the good addresses. Anyway, still working on that. What more did I order from China? Small plastic bags, for example, which are really cheap from there. And let's see. I ordered HDMI cables, and I only order the ones that are perfectly working with the ZX HD, because I had some bad ones in the past. But I know what to look for nowadays. And of course, if they don't work, then I also will get my money back. But I will only send the good quality ones, and never send bad stuff to customers, of course. Okay. Let's get back to the show. I think there are. I have to check which exact type there are from. But the big problem with the ARM chips I need is the package that didn't choose for the SpectroNet. Because if I would have designed the PCB myself, I would have just used the SOP ones, and not the TSOP ones. Cookies. You mean the cookies I include with the packages? I just get them from a supermarket. Well, if I need to know from Georgia, I can do it myself. But actually, I have some companies. Use two companies to obtain good quality, hard to obtain old stock chips if I need to. But I always try to get them somewhere else first, because I know that I pay surplus on when I order from those companies. So I just want to try it myself first. Let's see. Right. Well, the Wi-Fi interface, Darren, is interesting, of course, but the main issue is that there is some software available for SpectraNet, and the question is if we can make a Wi-Fi interface compatible with SpectraNet in any way. If that would be possible, then of course that would be the best, but we'll see about that. All right, next topic. Let's see. So I was talking about what I still want to do with ByteDelight, and there's lots of work for that for the next years. I don't worry about that. It's just making sure I can spend the time efficiently, so I will make some money and not just spend time. I don't have any in-depth topics for this evening, but I wanted to continue on some repairs if you guys don't mind, because I have plenty of those left here. For example, I have this bag with small box in it. Oh, this is from one customer, and in the bag there are more machines from someone else. And I actually don't know what is with this machine anymore. Check, there's some dust on it. Man, let's see. So now you can see what I'm doing here again, as always. Alright, of course, it uses serial port, yeah. Let's see what was wrong with this to repair. What was wrong with it? I don't know. I think I have to check it. So let's open it up. I think I sold this machine to him a couple of years ago. I think maybe 5 years ago, something like that. Because on the top of this case there is some old labels I used back then. And what I can see is that I used what kind of capacitors are these, man? Did I use them? Yeah, I think they're from me, but these are not VSA capacitors from back then. It has a new membrane from a couple of years ago. So let's see what's wrong with this machine, because I have no idea. Okay, that's not good. So we have, you can see there's something wrong, and my first guess would be the CPU. But I will get it out, we'll connect it to the diagnostic cartridge and see what that does. And if it does nothing, then I know, then I think it's very sure that it's the CPU. It does boot up, so maybe the EEPROM, or the ROM I mean. This works. I think it's ROM, which is a bit strange. As it doesn't detect the ROM type, so that's odd. So for some reason the ROM is not detected as it should be, and I never did something with this ROM, so I wonder what happened. So let's get the ROM out, get a new one in. Oh god. So you see, Darren, it's not only me. It's not only me that wants to... you give him a finger and they take your whole hand, you know. We all want that, you know. It's not easy. You know, if something like an iPhone is being developed, hundreds of hours are put in to get the best out of the software. And large teams are working on them, but then that's something that that can be done because millions of people are using iPhones. But with things like a SpectraNet, which is a completely on its own interface for the ZX Spectrum, Dylan himself did a lot of development on for the software support for SpectraNet for only a handful of people. But because I think maybe 50 people have a SpectraNet, maybe 100, I don't know. So it's not easy to develop new stuff for Sinclair machines, because if you want to do something like that, you need a couple of hundred people to use it. Otherwise, it's not worth the time and money. And of course, not everyone is in it for money. That's true. I also do this for the fun, of course. It's not a lie. But things like developing an Ethernet interface or a Wi-Fi interface will take dozens of hours, and maybe hundreds of hours. And I think it's only reasonable that if you want to do something like that, that you must have the feeling, the idea that you can get some of the time back in good sales, for example. Oh, 200 is even a lot more than I thought. Oh. So in the meantime, maybe it's good to talk about. I'm still working on my health. Until last week, I think in English it's resistance, if I'm not which is said on my T-shirt as well. My health was a bit bad. I had a cold all the time, but it's a lot better this week. And I only can make it better when I do some more exercise and go outside a bit more and do a lot of moving, you know. And for the last 2 days I walked 10 kilometers on my cross trainer that I have in my bedroom, and I want to continue doing that, so to lose some weight and to get working on my condition and my health, because otherwise I won't be able to continue to do this work in the future. And that's important to me, to just continue doing this at this speed, if you ask me. And I encourage other people as well to work on their health, so both physically and mentally, of course. And it's not always easy, because I had a lot of stressful moments myself during the last years. I still have. That's what you get with family, of course. Everyone has problems in their life, but you have to handle them, you know. I'm no psychologist, psychiatrist, and I'm no psych anyway. But I know I have to watch my health, and sometimes I have the feeling it's a lot of work to keep your head up. But I want to do that. So the first thing you need to do if you want to feel better is the will of wanting to feel better, I think. And if you don't want that, then, well, why would you work on your health, you know? That's why I think of it. And there are plenty more things, but some of them are a bit personal, and if someone likes to talk about it, I will do that in person. But anyway, please keep an eye on your health, guys. And if we do, then we can have a beer at any time. It's no problem at all, you know. I like having good evenings with friends and some wine or beer or something. Not too much, because I still want to be able to drive if I need to. Because, for example, I have 2 kids now, and if one of them falls from monkey bars or something like that, I have to be able to get out of the house and or from the bed, for example. One of my kids have a, how do you call it in English? A bed and with a stair on it. You know what I mean. And I know he's it's good. He can handle it. But my daughter, I think I'm afraid that she will fall out. So it's not for her at this moment. Yeah, of course. It's, it's a Star Trek thingy. Let's see. Yeah, I really like this shirt when I saw it on AliExpress. I buy a lot of shirts from AliExpress, and it's often hard to get it the right size. Sometimes if it's not the right size, I just think I have to do some more sporting and lose weight to get the correct size for the shirt, you know, instead of the other way around. But if you like cool shirts, and take a look at the AliExpress, because they're a couple of euro only. And often in Dutch shops you pay a lot more for them. Alright, let's see if I can get it out now. Why is it so stuck? Ah, man. Some go easily and some go with a lot of force. And I don't like to use a lot of force because the board wires on these Spectrum boards go easily damaged. And that's hard, a lot of work. I really don't like wires on boards, you know. I hate that. I rather would use a board that has damaged wires for spare parts than fixing it up. Sometimes I do for customers, but I don't like to sell refurbished boards with damaged cracks on them. What is it? Ah, man. Just need some more these. What's the name again? Lietse. I forgot the name in English. Oh, and what I forgot to say is my uncle was here this morning. I showed you the photo of it. He arrived from Spain at the Eindhoven airport here. Some other relative took him from the airport and told me that she would want to drive by so I could say hello to my uncle again. But I was looking forward to that actually during the last days, because my uncle was the guy who gave me my first ZX Spectrum when I was I think 8 years old. So he all started this, what I'm doing today, back then. And what year would it be? I think 1984 maybe, 85 maybe, I'm not sure. So not long after the ZX Spectrum was released back then, a couple of years only, and they were still sold. So, but I remember the QL machines were in the shops, because I remember machines with the hard keys from Sinclair, with the little how do you call it, a little pan form in it. So that could either have been a plus type of ZX Spectrum or a QL. I think it was the QL. Must have been. Solderwick, of course, yeah. Well, it's not all Asian sizes that you can buy from AliExpress, because they also show the sizes for Europe and US and that sort of thing. Man, this one is tough. I need some more solderwick. More solderwick. I buy them in large quantities, as you can see. It's not cheap. It makes working on these a lot easier. It's almost out, and I could have just cut the legs because the chip's probably bad anyway. But I want to make sure, because these chips are valuable, you know, original ROM chips. You shouldn't kill them if they still work. I sell them with the Harlequin kits, for example. Anyway, let's see if I can get it out now. I think this is good enough. And I'm using my eyesight, because you can clearly see sometimes there's some solder between the legs. It looks like this is almost. still not good enough. It usually goes a bit faster, you know. Come on, man, get out. Alright. You have to trust a bit on the fact that the solder is less... it's still stuck. It's softer than the metal of the pads, of course. Don't trust in that too much because it's easy to damage your tracks and your board. I think the solder that is used on this specific board is of kind of quality that I don't like much because it's hard to get out, man. Okay, there it is. I always do a visual check. Well, I've seen a couple of people working on such a desolder tool, and I never saw the real benefit of it because sometimes these tools just damage your board more than what I'm doing now, and I don't like that. And it usually goes a bit faster than what it is now, you know. It still will take time if you use a professional tool. Anyway, that's empty. Let's put in the socket. Let's see if a replacement chip will work, and then I will put in an apron because I will not put back an original one. Because for repaired boards you can use a apron. Alright. Oh man. I didn't pay attention. One leg is I don't think it's a problem. No, it's not one. Let's see if it works what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, it will work. Alright. I had the luck that the bent pin is exactly on the track, so that's not a problem. It will, if it's connected, then it's okay. I'll check it in a second to make sure. That's the first time that happened, by the way. Right. I think someone asked which diagnostic cartridge I use. Well, it's very easy. I use a ZXC4 ZXC4 from Palfero in the just in interface 1. Sorry, interface 2, of course. For me, that does the job very nicely, so I never have to swap ROMs for that specific reason. Thank you, Mark, for your support. And I really hope it works what you're saying. I was thinking of several names for the combined interface in the future, and I've written down a couple of them because some people already gave me some ideas. I think it will be something like a Pro XL, for example. But I was thinking of the Omega or something like that, you know. But maybe that's too much credit. If I will use an APROM at this moment, I need to do some change here because the APROMs need combined ROM select signal instead of the separate ones. So for the moment I will use another original chip, but I'm not sure if this will work with the setting at this moment. But let's see what it does. Okay, that works just fine, but it gives another error, you see? It showed me some upper memory error. So let's put it on again. The Embryo 3 Plus will be a very complete interface, but different to what people are used to. And I still think BS-DOS for Embryo 3 is a great operating system or basic extension for the ZX Spectrum, but it's completely different than EXOS, for example. Now it says it IC20, so that's easy. But first, because I wanted to know if the ROM is faulty. The ROM is faulty, that's for sure. We'll check it again later on. But I will first prepare the board to use the APROM and then we'll swap IC20. So my best guess is that this board has had some kind of power problem because it has a couple of defective parts, and it could be the voltage regulator. So maybe I should just make sure that this isn't the issue by swapping it out. For the issue in the future, I mean. So this is another pulled ROM, but the legs aren't completely straight, so I'm just straightening them up a bit. So the person who's going to use this one on, for example, a Harkin board will not have any issues with. And it looks a lot better. Right. And now let's get this one in. And let's get the old regulator out just to make sure. And because I'm already having the stuff here, let's put in a DC-DC converter instead. Because I know that the guy who owns this board will not bother about the DC-DC converter instead of the regulator. Yeah, it's Brandon's ROM, of course, yeah. So it's the interface from Paul Farrow, but I'm using Brandon's ROM on it. And it's an older version because the new ones have a couple of benefits. For example, that when it doesn't detect the APROM or the ROM type, it will just continue testing. What was I doing? I need 2 of these. I need a voltage regulator. And I need 10K resistor. So the fix I'm going to perform now is the fix that's also required for using a diff IDE interface on a ZX Spectrum with a NEC NEC ROM, because the NEC ROM has a low power state, and the original ZX Spectrum ROMs have 2 select lines, and one of them is to enable the ROM, and the other is to chip select the ROM. And these 2 are different because one of them will power on the ROM, if you can say so. And where's my... Oh, there it is. And the other one just opens the output ports. And on the NEC ROMs, when you disable the chip, it will go into a low power state and will take more time to revive from, and that will give you problems when you're using a diff IDE interface. And a diff MMC interface doesn't have that problem because it copies the contents of the ZX Spectrum ROM into its own RAM, so it's not switching between EPROMs or ROMs. So that's the difference between those 2 interfaces. Anyway, The ROM fix I'm performing now is described well on my website somewhere. Just Google for NEC ROM fix for ZX Spectrum, NEC ROM fix, and you will find it. Oh. Now I'm missing my other one. What am I doing? How did it get there? I don't know. So, only a couple of parts that are needed on this one. Then we can go on with the other issue on this board, which is the defective chip, and I think we will also replace the capacitors, because these are not the high quality ones, because I started to using them only I think 1.5 years ago, something like that, 2 years maybe. So I only use the Vis Haze nowadays, but before that I used all kinds of brands. But with ZX Spectrums, it comes to quality these days, and not getting it as cheaply as possible, you know. Even with the parts from Georgia, for example, I really like that he is making all kinds of replica stuff. But people also want some quality, because if it's not working, like some membranes had some problems at the beginning, and you don't have a very good experience with working as a Spectrum. So, okay, that's done. I think this will work. Oh, after I put in the regulator, of course, which I'm doing now. What's 994? 994. I have no idea what you mean with 994. Oh. Nine and four. I have no idea. Is that is that the number you should call when you have a problem with your ZX Spectrum? Call 994. Alright. Double check to make sure it's a 5-volt version. And these are really decent quality. They do tend to get a bit warm, but I never had any problems with them when it comes to stability. So the best ones are of course the Traco Power ones, but also oh, of course. Wow, how did you do that? Who did you call? Alright, so I can show you here. So it has a decent DC-DC regulator in now. Come on, focus, focus, focus. I really don't know why it's not focusing. Oh, there it is, finally. Sometimes when I put my fingers on, then it will focus. It got the ROM fix here at this place here. So next thing is going to just to test the setup at this moment. See what it does. Alright, still works. Now I need to swap IC20 and replace it. The soldering connection here is a bit bad, so I just want to check if it's not only that. I don't think so. No. No, it's a bad chip. Let's get it out. As you can see, I always use new solder to make it possible to get all the solder out, because if you don't do that, this will definitely not work. I think many people know the trick. It's an easy trick. Right. Again, I could just cut the legs of this chip, because there's no reason why not to, because it's very clear that the chip is defective, but usually it takes only a couple of minutes, so why should I do that? Of course, you have to get out all the chips, then it would be easier, but for example, last week I had a board with a couple of defective lower RAM chips, and because it wasn't, I wasn't sure that some of them still worked, I took out all of them, but because I wanted to make sure that I wanted to check if which one were failing and which one still worked, I needed to get them out in one piece. So that takes some time, of course, but I think it's still good to save chips that are still working, you know, because you can replace them with new ones. You could do that and build the new chips, but I think it's a waste. Parts aren't made anymore, so why would you do that? Oh, nice. Maybe that did, Mitja. Thank you. Because I haven't made any. Didn't do any talking about the last 12 people I needed. So awesome. Thank you. But what I said is I don't think it will actually get monetization enabled when I reach 1,000 subscribers, because I still need 4,000 watching hours, which will take a bit longer. I calculated it will be in January. Oh, let's see if it's clean. On some Sinclair or Spectrum related news from last week, what surprised me was that Stefan Drisse published his newest version of his mod player, which is very cool because it's a Sam Coupe release, which is rare these days, of course. And he published all the source code, I think, and the downloadable files on GitLab somewhere. But it's cool that he published the new version and the source code, and did some improvements even on the software. So very cool to hear something for the Sam Coupe scene. And I have a Sam Coupe here, but I don't use it a lot because I don't have the space to put it somewhere. And I'm telling that because the music in the background, I think, comes from it's a Atari. Okay. It's Atari music. It sounded like an AY chip, and it's actually an AY chip, but it's from an Atari, it seems. So I think the previous YouTube video ended where I got the music from. So I'm not sure which music is playing at this moment, but it might be a YouTube video about Atari music. Oh, now I can hear it because I can also hear some FM sounds. Alright, let's clean up this mess. Gimme what? You don't have a Sam Coupe yet? I don't know. You have so many models that I'm not sure which model or which sound chip is in. I think one has an AY chip. I'm not sure. I'm no working computer. I wish I was. Don't you guys wish you were a computer yourself? I know I'm crazy. I don't mind. Maybe other people do. Bit more cleaning here. With IPA, of course. Nothing else. You don't have a Sam Coupe? Why didn't you rob me then last week? You know there are cameras here, eh? You know I'm always watching wherever I am. Right. Just some more cleaning here and then I'm ready for the next step. Well, you had a chance last week, you know. Did you see the Bart's offer in time? Didn't you? Because I think it was still a good offer. The only problem was that the machine didn't work, and I don't know what is wrong with the machine. But I also didn't like it that much that it was offered on a local website, and then when I made the highest bid, I didn't hear anything, and it was sold before I could even do another bid. You know, I hate that. But anyway, I won't bother too much about that because I don't like to create problems. That's not the way to work together. Oh, I am. It was okay. Let's see. Oki 3732 Hi. Which one suits this board the best? I'm looking for the same batch number, but no, I don't have one in the same batch number. I do have one in the same series, so a 40,000 series here. So I think I will use that one. Right, let's see. So let's see if the ROM is detected properly. Yep, that's okay. Now it's doing the RAM tests. And RAM is okay, so I think we fixed all the problems for this board in issue 4A. Alright, so that's going well. So the only thing that remains for this board is doing the capacitors, but I don't like doing that right now because it's boring. We'll do it tomorrow. So let's put that back and let's get to the next machine. And that will be the last for this evening, I think. Okay, you like Spectrum clones, not successors, okay. But the Sam Coupe is something special, you know. I really get it that some people really like the Sam Coupe, and I'm happy that I have one myself again, because I didn't have one in the past, and I sold it, and fortunately I was able to buy one again. It didn't have a floppy drive when I bought it. But I bought a couple of floppy drives for I think €80, which were defective, and I was able to fix one of them. And I think I could fix one more, but I'm not sure anymore. It's a long time ago. So I have a couple of floppy drives left, and I think some just need a new floppy disk controller chip, because the Sam Coupe drives have the floppy controller in the floppy drive, and that's what Miles Gordon Technology decided back then, which I think is a very bad decision, because they sold the Sam Coupe with only disk support in the first place. Tape support, of course. Anyway, now I'm not rubbing it in, man. You get your chance. I'm sure of that. Sometimes people buy cool things for the ridiculous low prices. So I hope you get your chance as well. I'm sure of that. Next board. What do we have here? Whoa! Oh man. Okay. If you get a package like this, I know exactly what's in here. I have had these packages before, and this actually are 5 Sinclair Spectrums from someone who also lives nearby. And I really don't know what's wrong with them, because he just told me check them and tell me what's wrong. And there are cat hairs here on the packages. Ugh. I'm allergic to cats. If I sneeze, you know what it's from. Anyway, maybe the machines are just working, and maybe they need new membranes and that sort of thing. We'll see, but I can imagine that they're even not composite video modded. Yeah, but if my motto is, if you see something interesting and it's not too expensive, then get it, because it may be your last chance, you know. But the problem is, when you do that, then sometimes your spaces are getting completely filled up. Let's see. Yes. I think I will get some more plastic bags to... You're not a hoarder, no? Your photo from last week tells something completely different. Well, I think I tell myself I'm not a collector as well, but of course, when you do a lot of repairs and development, it's good to have several machines in stock. For example, I have all the. Maybe it's good to show you. I have all the Portuguese and Brazilian Timex models here. I will show you the 2016 models, at least. Maybe I have all of them now. I want to show you. Just a second. Okay. Oh man. Okay. What I have here is the Timex computer, the European version of the Timex 2068. And at the back, the box there, which is there, that box there, that's the American version, so the Timex Sinclair model. And then here I have the black Timex computer 2068, so also the PAL version, I guess, because this one is from Portugal, I think. And I haven't opened this one because I have to check it and we'll need some work, I think. And I have a couple of these Portuguese 2048s here. And they're given away to some people, so I have to get them working. And I'm very curious about the 2048s because I never opened one of those. I think I never opened one of those. But I got about all the Timex Sinclair models now, I think. Yeah, I'm really happy with the donations, guys, really, because the most important reason for having these models is that I can test compatibility of new products, of course. But it's really cool to have to just have all the different models, because they're so different inside, you know. They're completely different designs, and some games, for example, the TS 2068 may not work on one model and work on the other one, or not work the same way, and you know. Oh, I don't have this ZDA. I've thought about it in the past a couple of times, but I don't have one. And someone mentioned the issue 5. I never had an issue 5 myself. I think Ian has one. So it would be so awesome to just find an issue 5 when I'm doing these videos, you know. If you hear me screaming, you know where it's from. So the first one I opened has the original membrane still in, so that needs to be replaced because what happens to an original membrane? Well, you can just pull it and it comes off like that. That's very well known. This one doesn't seem to be modded already, so let's do that first, and we'll keep we'll put them in separate boxes, I think. Do I have enough? Well, I have a couple of them, so I can find everything back later on. And I won't get Alex mad, because Alex really dislikes when boards are separated from their cases, and I personally don't mind too much about that, because I sell the board separately and some cases separately, so why not? But I can imagine that people really want to keep machines as original as possible. I'm not one of them. Okay. Yeah, the yellow 4A, those are cool. I think I have 2 left here. I had a couple of them in the past. When I first saw them, I really liked them, but then also Ian told me that they're not that rare. They're just 4A boards without the solder mask on top. And the boards are yellow from production line, you know. Okay, that's a composite mod. Let's see what this does, and then I'll first do something else, because I'm stretching the desk again. Shouldn't do that. So we'll just diagnose these boards now for now and do the composite mod, and then put on some of these refurbished checklists, so I know what the state of them is and what I need to do with each of them. Let's see what this one does. Okay, well, that worked. Worked fine. Nice. Easy. So new capacitors. Only new capacitors, and that's for this board, and of course a new membrane, but we'll do it later on. The first one, I think we'll just put them here for now. Alright, next one. Of course, the yellow boards have the blue printing on it, the blue silk screen. That's I always call them the albino boards, but it's, of course they're not white or something, and they don't have red eyes. But the blue ink make them special, I think. Yeah. But I think they were made a lot, so they're not that rare. I have a couple of them here, like I said. Right, this is an issue 3B. Yeah, nice, completely untouched. If you ask me. Wow, the board looks as new, man. No dust on it, nothing. Great quality. So let's keep it that way. Unfortunately, this case has the clips on the keyboard, which will on the faceplate, so it will be removed easily. I like that because it saves time. The only bad thing is, of course, when you have dents in the case like this here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a big dent there. But I think it's good enough to just keep it on. Okay, another composite video mod. Still windy outside, but I just opened the window because I'd like to do some ventilating when I work on when I'm soldering, of course. Another one. Okay, another working one. Nice. And the guy who owns these ones has been waiting a long time for these ones as well, so I'm happy that the first two look promising. I hope the rest of the batch will be as easy as these ones, so it won't take too much time for him. You didn't miss the show. You can always watch it when YouTube converted the live stream to a new video. Good evening, by the way. Still a lot of people watching, so really like it that people like these videos, these live streams. So I'm doing it not for nothing. Alright, there's an issue 2. The model I actually don't like, because I always have the most trouble with them, and this case actually has a second connector for composite video, so I think I will leave it that way for now. So I'm just going to test it. Right, another. Oh no, it's not doing something wrong. And my first guess is that it's caused by capacitors, from what I'm seeing, because the picture is very distorted as well. And we're asking Martin, because I personally don't collect that much. I just need some machines for testing compatibility and doing repairs and that sort of thing, but I don't collect much myself. And I even don't have the space for that, but... Oh man. Yeah, that's cars are expensive, man. Okay, there's something very wrong with this one. It's working. Oh, now it works. You see? Oh, it's a voltage circuit. So I could hear the oscillator starting up. You can hear it from the sound of the coil, which means that there's something wrong with the power circuit of this board. So what I need to do is to swap the capacitors first. We'll do it tomorrow, and we'll check if the problem disappears then. T-Shek, your messages are not getting through because of the words you're using. I don't know, R45. What's R45? I forgot. R45, I don't know. I only know R68 for stop, you know? When you use a plus case, for example, or with a larger membrane. Okay, next one. Yes, I can. I can see everything, and I just want to make my videos content friendly, so even kids can watch them. So that's why I won't repeat them. Yeah, okay, you can do that way, of course. Well, to respond to what you're saying right now, I had a girlfriend who complained about my hobbies once. So, enough said? It wasn't my choice that we kind of broke up, but she didn't like my hobbies that much. My current wife, I'm married only once and I want to keep it that way. She likes that I have these hobbies and I do this, and it's something else than supporting, you know. It's not completely supporting, but it's accepting. Accepting is a lot important. Accepting important. Of course, you don't have to accept everything from your husband, but I really like that she thinks that this is good for me. And as I told my uncle this morning, this work is exactly the work I should have been doing my whole life, you know. It's my work, my way of working, my hobby, the things I like to do, and I think many people would like doing this for a living, of course, but that's not easy. It took me 20 years to make the switch, because I've done that other job for 17 years in one company. That sounds like long, but it doesn't feel like long. It feels like a couple of years. Because in the meantime, I was married and I got kids, you know, and all that same things. And I'm very happy that I had a chance to work there for 17 years, because all the time I've been paid well, and well, that's a good thing, you know. I have a decent job when it comes to salary, and well, why not? I think we have good wives. Take care of your good wives. Alright, another one working. Man, these boards are simple. So, capacitor only, we'll do that tomorrow. Where's my pencil? I don't know. Where did I put it? Have you guys seen my pencil this year? These aren't repairs, you know. 29 years? My god. You still live? 29 years, man. Well, to be honest, I think I just couldn't stay single, and I mean, I'm an artistic person. I have some very strange way of thinking sometimes, and I really like being married because I have someone to spend time with and spend my life with, you know. I really don't like doing that on myself. I went to living on my own when I was 17. I think that's very young for a person like me. It is, and I didn't do that because I really wanted to live on my own, but because my parents were fighting all the time. So I really was glad that I can move out of there. In the meantime, I'm seeing some very ugly capacitors here, which also almost make some short circuit here on the board. So I definitely want power on this one. Whoop. Man, oh man, it breaks off. Oh, I hate this. What is this, man? Okay, it says bipolar. So it's a psychic capacitor. Anyway, let's put in a nice one before powering this on. So I didn't like it all. Living on my own wasn't a choice, you know. And I'm very happy being married now. Although we got our problems, but everyone got their problems, you know. But I wouldn't do it differently. Did I do this? No, I don't think so. Or did I? No. Someone has worked on this machine, as you can see. Capacitors. Yeah, okay. My camera is in the way. I hope this will go well. If you see something blue, then it's my bag of capacitors. let's see. This one needs to be 22, of course. Whoa, it's getting windy. I like storms, you know. Do you guys like storms? When it storms outside, I really like that because when I'm inside, I feel safe and I feel warm, and I really like when it storms outside and I'm inside. My kids don't like when there's thunder and storm outside. I like it a lot. I even sometimes play those videos on YouTube with storm sounds and rain sounds because it makes me feel so relaxed when I play them. Right, a handsome capacitor is in now. Let's see if the short is not there. I think I have to measure it because you can see it clearly. Yeah, exactly. What I would love is being in a glass house, a small glass house, when it's storming outside. I would love to do that once. Or when it's snowing or something, you know. Right, that's okay. What the hell's happened to this transistor here? Man, it's been replaced in the most ugly way it's possible. Anyway, okay, someone has... Oh man, this is ridiculous. What happened here? I think someone with a very bad soldering iron has worked on this machine here. Oh man, everything is moving when I touch it. There's some pieces of wire left here. Let's just remove them. I feel like Sandra Lee now, the pimple popper doctor. It does that use all kinds of small tools as well, trying to get rid of all the pimples and. If you're crazy like me, you like the videos. Look them up on YouTube. So from thunder and storm videos to pimple popping in less than a minute. Right, next one. Man, everything is loose in this. Man, the resistor almost comes out. What's wrong with this machine? Right. Well, I've seen some, I think Samsung machine use very odd transistors for the voltage circuit. And I really don't mind if it works, you know. And if it looks a bit decent. Well, I don't like parts falling off the board when you look at them. So Frank, did you already take the light route in Eindhoven? my daughter was talking about it, and maybe I should explain what it is. Because here in Eindhoven, it's called the Light City of the Netherlands. It's where Philips started their company decades ago. And Philips was well known, of course, because of their lighting products, their light bulbs and that sort of thing, which are not made anymore, I think. But anyway, it's still about the best known thing of Eindhoven. We also got our soccer club, PSV, Philips Soccer Club, here in Eindhoven, of course. My son is a great fan of them. Anyway, each year in September there's a tour around Eindhoven, or throughout Eindhoven, I must say, which you can use your own car and just drive through Eindhoven and follow the arrow boards, small arrow boards, and then I thought so. And then you see all kinds of cool things made of LED lights and that sort of thing. And this year's topic, I think, is a circus, so it's really for the kids. But anyway, it's great that they do that each year, because it's for kids. It's really fun to follow the route. I think Frank is going to do it on bike, but it's good weather. This isn't working at all. It's making strange sounds, so I think something is going to pop in a second. That's the sound that it makes when I turn it on. Let's see if it's connected well. It's not good. I'm not sure. Can you do the connection here? No, there's more wrong with this board than I can see for this moment. So what I'm going to do is just write a label, because my refurbished labels are gone out of stock, so I need to print more of them. No picture. I think I will start with testing the UD chip on another board, so to know if the chip works. Anyway, sorry. Where's the top? I will do that later on. So no picture at all. Could still be the modulated plug, I'm not sure. Check. Oh, something else I received today. I have it in my hand because it was laying there. It's the zip sockets. These ones. I think it's a 28 pin one. Yeah, 28 pin. And I will use this to test the AY chips on the ZXAY board. I think it's useful. Okay, next one. We have more. Jim, there's more. I have a couple of plus boards here. I have 2 ones, or not sure. What's this? Let's see. Oh, it's a toast rack. Oh, we like toast racks. Yeah, we do. Just power it on first. It works totally fine. Okay, need some cleaning. It's cleaning. Oh. Ziv, yes. Ziv. Ziv sockets. Oh man, that's dirty. Wow. Look at that. Look how black that one is. Oh man. I don't get them this black most of the time. This one is bad. I think the whole board will be dirty then inside, but we'll check that on later. Wow, it's still black. Completely black. Where's this board have been? Yeah, the light route, lichtjes goed, yes. Oh man, this is the third time I'm cleaning it. Third time, you see? Oh man, there's a lot of dirt on there. Wow. I'm really curious what's going on inside this case here, but man, it's still black. What the hell? The 4th time, it's still black. Wow. Okay, it's getting less now, but I think it suits this video to talk a bit about Eindhoven, of course, because I live in Eindhoven. I haven't lived here my whole life. I moved here when I was 17 to when I started my study, and okay, this works, and wanted to live on my own. I think this machine is completely working. It just needs some new capacitors, maybe new membranes or something like that. It looks as the capacitor that puts audio on the video signal is cut away already, because the picture is quite nice. No, I don't run out of clips. I have more here. I always have more, you know. The cycle evening? Is there a special cycle evening for the light broaches? I didn't know that. Yeah, charcoal. Yes, exactly. This was the dirtiest I've ever seen my whole life. Never had such a dirty one. It was working perfectly well, so that's a good thing. It needs some cleaning. I will do that for the owner Very nice toast ring. Nice, completely working. The picture is a bit blurry though. So probably will tell me you should get a ZXHD of course. Another one, what's this? I think it's just a plus. It's a plus. It's a bit light. Why is this light? I don't know. And what I notice is that some people really, I don't know why they do it, but maybe to lower the distance to the desk, they put in the rubber feet in the wrong way. I've seen it a couple of times more, so I wonder if that's done in the factory or another moment. I don't know. Well, I have 5 ZXHDs waiting for customers, so if anyone needs them, then they're available on the ZX Spectrum shop. Nice, nice, nice. I hope it's good weather, Frank, because it's no good weather at this moment. Okay, Frank, see you next time. It's an issue 2 board. Looks a bit dirty, a bit yellowed. So I think this board has been used at least with someone who smokes a lot, I think. The membrane is in very bad shape, but that doesn't surprise me at all. There was a wrong ULA chip on it, but that's no problem because it works. Oh man, this is the worst modification I've ever seen. Look at this. Someone used a wire for a composite video mod and threw it over the edge of the modulator. Well, what do you think what happens? What do you think that happens? Focus! 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 Is it focusing? I don't know, I don't think so. Anyway, that will definitely give some issues if you do it this way. There's really no need to, because the wire is long enough, man. The original wire. It's not cut, it's not even not cut, it's just soldered on and then thrown over the edge of the modulator circuit. Why? Why? Anyway. That wasn't supposed to happen. Anyway. Next one. Right. Right, that's done. So it had the modification already, but not in the best way. Let's see what this board does. Nothing. It seems like a Z80 or a ROM problem, I'm not sure. This is bad. I think it's a Z80. But also the original capacitors are still in, and I need to clean the edge connector, of course. Let's do that first. This one is not that dirty, so... Oh, it is. Oh man, it's another black one. I think because this board is yellow, I think it may have the same cause as the other one, because someone who used this board has been smoking a lot. And if you see what I get off the edge connector alone on this yellow board, man. Could it be smoke? I'm not sure. I don't think the owner smokes, because I haven't seen him smoking ever. So anyway, let's see if we can get a dike running, and if not, I'll start with swapping the Z80, which is easy because it's socketed already. Let's try that first. No, you shouldn't smoke it also. Good, of course it's your own choice, but let's see. Nothing. I don't know. What could it be? I have no idea. Could be anything. Could be anything. You see, same error as we got a couple of minutes ago. So I think it's the same problem with old capacitors only, because it's I heard it's starting oscillating. So most probably it's just some oscillating issue, some power problem, and this, yeah, it just needs some. What is this? Okay. As far as I can tell, it's just capacitor issue. Nice, man. It's good to be healthy, you know, mentally and physically. Alright, so capacitors first. Put back the CPU, because I don't think it was the CPU. And the last machine for tonight. And actually the last machine I have at home at the moment, or in the workplace at the moment, because if I finish these, then I can finally order a pick and place machine and do other things. Really? Who did that? Well, I'm curious if actually, oh, sorry, wrong button. If I actually got 1,000 subscribers now, if I get any notifications from from YouTube. That's so odd. Okay, Farnell sent me a message that I still should receive a couple of IC sockets, 28 pin. And I think I already got 2 batches of those. I ordered only 150 pieces, and I got 2 batches of them already. And they're going to send me another 25. I think the last ones, I'm not sure, or I don't know. Seems I'm getting 4 batches to get all of the ones I ordered, so that's very strange. Anyway, I got a couple of new subscribers. The strange thing is, if your account is not open on YouTube, I don't get a notification. So I probably can see that I have 1,000 subscribers now, but oh no, it's not 1,000. I only got 999. You're fooling me. Frank just got out, so he can have been the guy. Okay, I won't worry about that, but yeah, it seems to. Anyway, tomorrow I will see if the 1,000 subscribers are really in, and if so, I will put the how we call it, the random picker again, and see if I can. Who is the winner of the 1,000th of the ZX80? But at the moment I'm working on testing this machine, And of course, the M-Stock machines need a ridiculously huge power supply and other cables, you know. You just wanted to see if it really works if you unsubscribe, if it shows the correct number of subscribers. Alright, let's see what this machine does. Oh, should select the input first. Can I do that here? Oh no, come on. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, look at that. Okay, it's +2A, and those keyboards never die, +3 basic of course. The video quality isn't that good because you can see a lot of shadow in here. I'm not sure why that is. Okay, I will test it tomorrow because no idea if I don't have a checklist for this one yet. That's the main issue. Alright guys, alright, I will do a refresh then and we'll put a... Ow, now it's 1001! I want the 1000! Unsubscribe! Okay, we'll do some magic. I will just make a snapshot of the screen and I will do some alright, so let's do it this way. What is it doing? Huh? Okay. Yeah, Peter, I can see it was you because your account is a shared account. But I think Mark's one isn't open, so that's why I couldn't see it was Mark. Because I get other notifications. Anyway, I will just copy. I will show you what I'm doing because this is of course faking. Okay, now we have 1,000 subscribers. No one will ever know. Only people who watch the ByteDelight weekly show will know. Alright. Okay, everyone knows now. It's not fake. I crossed the barrier of 1,000 subscribers. Oh man. No, come on, man. I had 1,000 too. You're just playing with with my subscription number of subscribers. So it's not fair. Anyway, I would just do as if I didn't hear anything. Why is it fake? I do not have a clue. But did you guys make a screenshot of what I was doing a second ago? You still can. So if you click on the link, you can see actually now I get 1,000 subscribers. So I'm not lying. Look at it. All right. Oh man, so many messages on Facebook again. All right, let's get back to what we were doing a second ago. Where did I mirror the back window? Did I mirror the back window? It was more beautiful to see the landscape. I didn't mirror it, it's just dark outside, Manuel. Good evening, by the way. Yeah, exactly, it's a time zone. It's 9:30 here in Holland. So that's why. And people are really messing up my subscription status on YouTube at the moment. Anyway, in Brazil, I guess it's in the morning at this time. Brazil time, 9 o'clock. Oh, it's half past 4 in Brazil. Okay, so it's in the afternoon now. Right. Oh, people are really messing with my channel. Anyway, once I reach the 100,000 subscribers, then I will get the the silver YouTube button. So, you won't take away that from me, you know. Just need 100 times this amount of subscribers, and then it's okay. Anyway. Okay, this is a +3. I think it's the last one for tonight because we're doing this show again for almost over 2 hours now. I will go on with them tomorrow, but tomorrow I have a couple of appointments, so I think I will put on the stream again for the continue with this repairs. Mainly the capacitor need replacement of these boards. That's no problem. It's no big deal. Anyway, I think it was a nice show again. Thank you for chatting along, and thank you for your interest in the work I'm doing here. If it's an issue to look closely at the R45 position. What's closely at the R45 position? I'm curious. I don't know. I have to check. So I will keep it with this for this week. I think we've done enough. Again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video, which I will probably make a couple of them. You seen it? Oh man! I just did the last one. I just connected the last one. I don't have any more at the moment. I don't have any more repairs here. Only capacitors. So I will join my kids downstairs because I think they are tired, and well, my son helped me out today with the large stack of bubble foil there, which is cut in pieces big enough for the letterboxes that are used for shipment of several interfaces. So he sometimes helps me out because he wanted a Minecraft rank on some server, and I told him if he helped me for an hour or something, then I will get the rank for him, and I already did. So I think he has been playing on the server for a couple of hours now, and so we'll get it down to him. And oh yeah, the Russian machine. Yeah, well the Russian machine will get a look from me one day, but if you have some schematics or something, some more information about it, because I even don't know how to connect the sockets already, but we'll find out some things, of course. We'll check it out, of course, but no, not that far in the future, because I really want to keep up with all the work I think I finally can, and that's important for me. Because I had such a backlog for months now, and I think it's almost done now. So, yeah, SES don't always work that well, but if they work, they work, and why replace it if it still works, you know? If you get a DiffMC Pro 1, for example, it's even it doesn't rely on the M1 line, for example, of the Z80, so it even works without. So. Anyway, I will keep it with this. I had a great time. I hope you had a great time as well. Thank you for watching, and see you later. Head over to zxspectrum.shop to buy brand new add-ons for your ZX Spectrum. Lots of different products are available. For example, the ZXHD HDMI interface, or the DiffMC Enjoy Pro 1 SD card interface, and lots more. Set a currency preference to British pounds or euro, and check out easily. Also found on our website are links to our Facebook page with weekly updates of all kinds of ongoing projects. And of course, do subscribe to our YouTube channel with lots of reviews and the ByteDelight weekly show episodes.